Hi, this is Chris, and I'm so glad you're here for my first tutorial for my virtual open house. So I gave you a little hint what was going to happen. I don't know, did you notice the shaker window foam and acetate package sitting there? Today I'm going to show you how to make a shaker window with our foam acetate kits, because there's a special tip that I want you to know about to make it less frustrating for you when you go ahead and make those. I'm also going to show you in the catalog where we're having new shapes, new shaker shapes. And this base catalog, the core catalog this year is so nice. I said it earlier in my opening that this is probably my favorite yet, and it's true. So right now I'm working with the Circle Shaker kit, and that's been around for probably a year, maybe 2 years now. I'm not sure. But coming out in this new catalog, we're going to have a heart shaker window and a star shaker window. And they come also with the shaker window foam and acetate packages, which are life-changing. The other thing on the other side of the catalog, and this is on page 59, you know that we already carry the stitched rectangle frames and stitched square frames, but now Close to My Heart is also offering window foam and acetate packages for those two sizes. So that's really exciting. And in these, because they're different sizes available, it's going to include 6 double-sided foam tape rectangles and clear acetate rectangles, 2 each of the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, 3 by 4 1/4, and 1 3/4 by 3. So that's really cool. I shared a card that I made this morning, but those square window foams would work perfectly with this window die. So I could make a shaker window. And then in the past, we've had this happy birthday shaker window die also that has a little happy birthday sentiment, which is really cute. So anyway, that gives you an idea of why I'm creating a shaker card today for you. So I got my materials prepared, and I decided that I was going to use the party time paper and the sticker sheet. And I haven't really ever played with the sticker sheets, but I realized that these fit, some of the images fit perfectly inside my circle shaker window. So I'm going to do that because I think that'll make a fun shaker card. So here's my shaker paper. If you didn't see it in the opening, it's in the core catalog, and it has 2 sides. So one can be really feminine and one really masculine. So you're really ready to go. You can buy it with or without the sticker sheet. So you pay a little less without the sticker sheet. And then you also have the option to buy coordinating cardstock, which helps you just to be ready to go to make a card. And that's what I did here. So I pre-cut my base to be a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. And I tend to just make card fronts and then I mount them on a white card base. That's basically just how I am. And because I am so frugal, I decided, oh, wait, I'm layering on top of this raspberry piece. So I right away went ahead and die cut my shaker frame circle, and I decided I was going to die cut some inside pieces too. And these 2 dies are part of the circle shaker set. And you can make little fun confetti. This is the hearts, and I went ahead through a scrap and ran some yellow too. So this is going to be added later on into my shaker window. But like I said, I could just go ahead and run it all at once and I was ready to go. And then this is a little scrap that, who knows, I might come up with something for that someday. So I'll put this card base aside. And I'll put my confetti aside. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this out. I'll use a needle just because I might need that needle later on. And there we go. Oh, I'm kind of tearing it up a little bit. You have to be more careful than I am. Of course, now that I'm live on video, you can see all my little boo-boos. But anyway, this comes out nicely, sort of nicely, and I can just lay it aside, and I'm going to use that later as well. So I also cut a base, a circular base for my shaker window. So all 4 of these dies come in the circular shaker thin cut die. That's a pretty good deal. And you can use them for different things. Like you can cut out this and use it on a flat card. I've done that often. And this gives you a nice size circle, and you even get a second circle on the inside here. So you're not just limited to shakers, which is always a good thing. I like to expand my use of things. If you're watching, I'd love you to let me know if you've ever made a shaker card before, and or you know, if you've been too scared, what's made you scared about it. So let me give you some measurements here before I start taping things down. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 front. And then I also, cut a 4 by 2 inch coordinating piece. And because these papers all come in a pack, I think they just coordinate nicely. It's going to be a busy card probably, but that's okay. Some little girl is going to love this card, or some big girl. So I'm just giving it some quick tape runner on there. Usually I use a big ATG gun, but I'm working here downstairs. My husband is upstairs taking an online class. He started at 8:30 and it goes till 6. But that allowed me to go ahead and have this virtual open house, so I'm really excited. Usually I love having people over. I have the house all set up with card samples, but we're just living in different times, so it's good to send out cards too to really make people happy. I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down right about here. And now I can start building my shaker. So I mentioned that there's some great stickers here on the sticker sheet. These are perfect for scrapbooking, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use this big cupcake. And it's nice, it just pulls right out. If you don't want to use it as a sticker, you can always put, I was going to say talcum powder, but really I don't think people are using that much anymore. But you could put maybe a little cornstarch on the back, or if you didn't want it sticky, you could also give it a quick pat with your anti-static embossing pouch. But I do want it as a sticker, so I'm going to go ahead and lay it down pretty much in the center. And now I'm going to start building my my shaker window. And this is where it's not really tricky, but if you know the tips, then it just makes life a little bit easier. So Close to My Heart sends these foam kits, and it's got an outside circular ring, which is what you're going to be using. All these inside pieces, those are leftovers that you can use on other projects, which is really nice. When the shaker kit first came out, most people went ahead and pulled off that ring, the outside ring, because they knew that's all that they needed to use, and put it on their acetate. But that ended up making the circle somewhat wonky. Okay, so excuse me. The tip that I have for you is to go ahead and run your fingernail just a little bit around the inside of that foam. What we're trying to do is just separate it a little bit from the remainder, from the leftover, but we're going to leave it all intact. Just coming around. If you're just joining me, I'd love it if you'd let me know if you've ever made a shaker card, what have been your challenges, if you've used these kits. It's fun to know if you guys have had some success. The other thing here is this acetate does have a protective cover on it, and that can probably be the most time-consuming part of this whole thing, is figuring out what side is it on and pulling it off. And had I prepped a little bit better, I would be ready for you, but this way you see it in real life, which is sometimes good. I find sometimes a little pin can help me get it course, I'm working with bifocals here too, so be patient with me. There we go. And I went ahead and I was able to grab it, and I can just pull it off like that and set it aside. So perfect. All right, now to go ahead and create this shaker. So I've run my fingernail all the way around, but I haven't pulled anything off. I am now going to go ahead and pull off this outside ring, just the foam protection. And then I'll go ahead and lay my acetate down over that and make sure that it's laying down nicely before I put it down. Okay, so now I have it attached just to the outside ring, and I can open it up, and now I'm going to start pulling this away. And it doesn't always come exactly clear, but because you've run your fingernail through it and around, it releases a lot better. And I'm just using my thumb to guide it. And now I'm going to have a perfectly round circle. And these here are all left over for another project, which I've been using a lot. And I'm not really a pop it up person, but I do pop it up with these. So one little tip is to go ahead and use your little static buddy, your anti-static buddy, and go around on the inside. That just helps you from necessarily getting everything stuck in one spot. I think there's probably two schools of thought about where are you going to put your sequins, in the inside cup or right here. And I tend to put them right here. Close to my heart sells bags of loose sequins. So I have the gold and the silver here. And then of course I did pop out some in the confetti. And they also have these really cute silver star confetti. So I'm going to put a pinch of that. And hopefully my anti-static keeps it from springing everywhere. That could be fun. All right. And I think I'll add some of the raspberry hearts that I popped out, or that I cut out. I'm going to just shake a few in there. Maybe a couple of these yellow stars. You can see my plate is well cut. All right. I probably don't want to get it too full because then I think it takes away from it too. But this is going to be a nice mix of colors. The raspberry and the lemonade, that's so nice and bright. Push some of those things back in. Set this aside, and now I can go ahead and bring the sticky part down and go ahead and close this up. All right, and so now it shakes perfectly, and a little star got stuck up at the top, but that's okay. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and lay down this cover, because that covers up then our sticky tape. And for that, I'll just use a little bit of the mono liquid glue. That is something that Close to My Heart is carrying. So that's perfect if you don't have a store close by, or if you tend to try and stay out of Michael's so that other things don't jump in your shopping cart. You know, it's always good. Or if you just need a little something else to round up your order. And you don't want to drop it right on top of your project. So this is real life. This is how life is. Yesterday, our whole internet system went down for the school for a couple hours. So, and then when we got back online, I told the teacher, I can't hear your audio. Well, it was me. I didn't have my headsets in. So, my earphones. So yesterday was kind of a wonky day, and it looks like I'm just continuing that. But anyway, look at how pretty that shaker came out. You can put that on a tag. You can put it, well, I'm going to put it on this card. So I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it down so it stays in place. And I had thought that maybe I would want to add some raspberry under the candles, but I ended up taping it down, so I think that's okay. But I might want to take this zip strip. So a zip strip is what Close to My Heart puts at the top of their 12 by 12 papers, and each paper has a different one. And they're a lot of fun because they just kind of go with the papers. What I really like about them is on the back, it features the colors in the paper pack. So I know that I can grab ballerina, flamingo, glacier, green apple, lagoon, lemonade, nectarine, raspberry, sapphire, or of course the white daisy, and any of those will go perfectly with my card. So for this zip strip, I'm going to just go ahead and use this happy birthday, but I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit of a matting for it. So I have some extra raspberry left over. Just run that there. And I have my little photo trimmer from Close to My Heart that I like for, especially when I'm working here with you. I don't have to bring out my big cutter, which I do love. And I can just slide that under. Looks like I might have gotten it just a little bit wonky. Up. Pull that up and try and straighten that out. I'm going to go down here. All right, try that again. But you know, when you're making a card, you take a little bit more time because I'm having you hostage here with me. I'm trying to be more efficient and quicker, maybe rushing things a little bit. And I think I'm going to see how, no, I don't think, I want to just have it straight flush. But now I can put the happy birthday sentiment right down here. And I could add a couple of sequins if I wanted, or Close to My Heart has some beautiful embellishing thread. I could have looped that around and put that on the bottom. I think I'm going to just put that right there. And you can see how quickly this shaker card came together. Normally a shaker card can really be a gigantic effort, but in this case, it's really quite easy. So I appreciate all the people popping in. I have seen your names as they popped up, but I just didn't want to continuously shout out. But I am tickled that you're here, that you are tuning in for my first tutorial to talk about shaker cards. I gave you some great tips about how to quickly and easily assemble the kits. Close to My Heart does sell these, and now we're having shakers in hearts and in stars, which is really cool, and then the square and the rectangle option. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot of shakers in my future, but look how fun that is. And I think it's important not to overfill it, but I just love how that confetti is in there, the hearts and the yellow stars, and because I used the matching paper, it all worked out great. And this is pretty flat. It's not hard to mail, which is really good. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Lisa, for saying it's pretty. I love it. Thanks. Thank you for tuning in for my first tutorial. I'll go ahead and get ready for the afternoon tutorial, and I will be back at 1 to tell you a little bit about the VIP program. I think you might even see me on camera for that. So, all right, have a great Saturday. It's dreary here, so it's the perfect day for card making and crafting. Take care, and don't forget to keep interacting so that you rack up those points. See you soon.